Minister, I want to concur with what Deputy O'Keefe has said. We brought this up in the Dáil before. We had a meeting, in fairness. We met the department officials, Deputy O'Keefe and myself, and I want to thank you for that. But on that day, when we talked about it, the bill was basically going to be brought back or rewritten. There was obstacles. They had said they had found the ways around them, and that we were going to have it, is my understanding, before the summer recess. It was going to be gone through. And I've looked at schedules, and maybe I've missed something, but I cannot see it there. And I'll tell you, you don't realise the torture that this is causing as well. There are people at the moment that want to plant land that cannot plant it because this is held up. There are people that want to build a house and they cannot build it because the very minute a council looks at it, it's down as an NHA. Walk away. That's what they do. When the Forestry Service gets something in that's in a designated area, bye-bye. And that's the seriousness. And you look at our planting situation at the moment, where we have hit 50%. And when you have people willing to do things, you need to work with them. And I've been involved in all of this down through the years. And as Deputy O'Keefe pointed out, it wasn't ordinary people. It was ecologists, it was scientists that went out and checked the different bogs. And it's not alone bogs. There's one place that I know where a person's shed, where they milk the cows, is within it. That's the facts below on the Leitrim-Roscommon border. It's in County Leitrim. And it's as fine a field as ever you saw. It should never have been put in, but it was put in. And in fairness, the national parks were going to rectify that. And what they done was they graded them, be it A and B or grade 1 and grade 2. And what we were pushing away what wasn't required, that was absolutely of no use. And what they were going to do was put in compensatory and all of that.
Thank you, Deputy.
And I'd like to know what's happening, and are we going to have it before the summer recess that these people can be taken out of their misery?
Can you cast some light on this, Minister Noonan?
I just want to offer an apology to both deputies that I didn't expect we'd be back here again to discuss this. I really thought we would have advanced it, but it has been complex. And the principal purpose of the Wildlife Amendment Bill as initiated was to provide for review of the raised bog habitats, the making, amendment and revocation of natural heritage areas in orders for these purposes of the Wildlife Amendment Act of 2000. As the deputies will be aware, the bill was originally presented to Dáil Éireann. There was a very constructive debate on the bill in both houses, including in relation to extending its scope to provide for review of blanket bog natural heritage areas, and later in the Seanad in relation to placing a duty on public bodies to promote the conservation of biodiversity. The bill had completed all stages in the Dáil and the Seanad and had been returned to the Dáil for consideration of the various amendments made in the Seanad, and that is to say that the bill was at what was colloquially known as the creamless stage, when the bill lapsed with the dissolution of the 32nd Dáil on the 14th of January 2020. Standing Orders DSO 227 provides that where a bill passed by the Dáil is subsequently amended and passed by the Seanad, those amendments are then returned to the Dáil for its consideration. DSO 228 provides that the Dáil may accept, amend or reject the Seanad amendments. Amendments in the Dáil to the Seanad's amendments may only be moved where they are consequential upon the acceptance, amendment or rejection of the Seanad amendment. There is no mechanism under standing orders to move amendments to a bill returned to the Dáil under DSO 227 other than those set out in DSO 228. As discussed when I met the deputies in December last, the restoration of the bill in the order paper is not straightforward. However, once the complexities have been resolved and the amendments in the Seanad are re-examined in consultation with the OPC to ensure that they are worded correctly and legally robust, it will be Minister O'Brien's intention to bring a memorandum to Government to seek approval to have the bill restored to the order paper. At the same time, the Minister will also bring a memo for Government to obtain approval to the amendments to the bill made in the Seanad, and this process is at a very advanced stage, expected to be completed shortly. I can't give an accurate date on it, but I met with officials this morning just in relation to it to try and get it advanced as quickly as possible. My hope is that it will be completed before the summer recess.
Minister, there's one simple question that the people out there that are frustrated over the last 3 or 4 years. They want to do some very good things for our country. There's one simple thing. Shortly, when I was going to school, was never a definite time. And all I'm asking you is, will we have it, will Minister O'Brien be gone with this memo to Cabinet before the summer recess with the old bill or a new bill or some bill, the way that we can kick it into gear and get it sorted? That's all we want. We're not unreasonable people. We understand, and we had the meeting with you. We thank you for all of that. But on that day, my understanding, and especially with the way Deputy O'Keefe explained it from his experience, that there was a way around it of getting it back in. And if there isn't, fine. Just call it the Wildlife Amendment Bill 2022, and away we go, and we hammer it through. But we cannot keep waiting. And all I'm asking you is, could you please say to us, it will be brought by memo and into the Dáil before the recess in July.
To be helpful, it can be recommitted here to the Dáil from the point at which it was dealt with in the Shannon, with the Shannon amendments to be considered.
That's exactly it.
That can be done.
Yeah, and I know it's frustrating, and it has been complex, and I appreciate the frustration of both deputies and the communities that you represent, and I will endeavour to try and get a definite date for both of you, and to give certainty to this. And again, I take on board the points in relation to shortly and when that means, but it has been frustrating from our perspective as well. It won't be a new bill. We are in a separate process of reviewing the Wildlife Act, but that's for another day. But it is our intention to try and get this completed. It's frustrating from our point of view as well. So we do appreciate.
Thank you, Minister.
We do appreciate that.
Okay, well.